We will have plenty of action coming up, which will include the likes of the who now make their way out onto the circuit, and we are set, primed and ready to go racing. Let's have a look at the starting grid here at Wackersdorf for the first of two Micro Max races. So, after intermediate classification, Gabriel Hoffmann will start on pole position. Alongside will be the number 12 of Niklas Casarino. Arjen Kreling starts P3 ahead of Noah Janssen, who completes the top 4 in the number 31 entry. Christos Malakos in the number 27 starts 5th ahead of Tim Steger from Beaulicart Racing Team in the number 55. And last but by certainly no means least, we have Stavros Tsotos-Francia from the Kartschmi.de awning in the number 91. So the races have been increased in terms of length, and it will be 9 minutes plus an additional lap. So effectively, one victory went to Hoffmann, one victory went to Noah Janssen, but it was in Heat 1 where Hoffmann really started to gain his advantage, and a second in yesterday afternoon's second heat gave him the prime opportunity to move forward and get the chance to get to the top of the standings. But now they come into formation ahead of 9 minutes plus an additional lap. Looks like Tsotos-Francia is a little bit further behind, manages to catch up to the rest of the 6 in front. So, day 2 of the opening round of the 2021 season, about to get underway here at Procart Raceland in Wackersdorf, 1,222 meters in length, and we are guaranteed action. And yesterday was the aperitif. Now comes the main course. Into the tram lines for the first time. Are we ready? Are we steady? It's lights out. They are off and away, and Noah Janssen tried to thread the eye of the needle. That's the battle for second position before we've even hit turn 3. And he manages to keep in third place, but then goes for the move. He even tried to go for the lead on of all people, Gabriel Hoffmann, but he has to slot back in to third place. So Casarino was attempting a move, and Noah Janssen decided to mug the lot of them. Well, nearly got his opportunity to get up into second place, did the number 31. However, as they go through into turns 9 and 10 for the first time, it is more a case of seeing who is going to be out in front. And at the moment, it is Gabriel Hoffmann. But for how much longer? Now, that is the biggest crux of the matter, as the top 5, rounded out by Christos Malakos, is really now getting rather up close and personal. And you can just see here that Noah Janssen has got past, up into second position, past Kreling, and now is going for the lead. And on the start of lap 2, Noah Janssen goes ahead of Gabriel Hoffmann. Here comes Niklas Casarino up the inside of Kreling through turn 4, gets the job done nice and easily, and uses the momentum carry. But here comes Gabriel Hoffmann through the inside of turn 6. And then Noah Janssen was prepared and waiting for the move to happen. He saw it coming, but he hasn't been able to counter-attack through into turn 9, and then into 10. And the good thing is that these drivers are pushing like wildfire, and Casarino fancies a chance at second and also manages to get through ahead of Noah Janssen. But it's Gabriel Hoffmann, with just under 2 minutes of this race completed. The switchback maneuver now happening between Noah Janssen and Niklas Casarino, as Janssen retakes second position, going out of turn number 12. Through to complete another lap of racing, and it has been rather action-packed so far. And looking at the top 4, covered by less than 4.5 tenths of a second. Janssen leads from Hoffmann. Casarino looking up the inside of the number 95. Kreling is there or thereabouts. Keep your eyes on Christos Malakos, because Malakos is trying to close that gap. He's about 6.5 tenths behind the number 62 of Arjen Kreling. But Janssen trying to strike early on finals day. Looks to be a little bit cooler in terms of the temperature in Wackersdorf. Well, it's 22 degrees in comparison with what we had, highs of around 24. Looks to be that the highs will be even higher And that comes towards the end of the day at around about 5, 6 o'clock this evening. Around 26 degrees Celsius is the predicted highest temperature here in Bavaria this weekend. But that does not amount to what hot action we've got out on the track as Gabriel Hoffmann closing in on Noah Janssen. Gap now 0.130 as they go on to lap number 4 through turn 3. And look at that in synchronicity as Hoffmann gets past Janssen and then Kreling gets past Casarino in exactly the same corner. But Casarino back up the inside of the number 62 through turn 6. Side by side go the pair, but into the next right-hander at 7. Arjen Kreling gets back past and retakes P3. Great driving from these youngsters. And now, I've just seen that Tim Steger is closing in on Christos Malakos. We have 5 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, and Janssen goes for the lead once again through turn 12. But Gabriel Hoffmann absolutely puts the pedal to the metal. The rear tyres grip the tarmac and it pushes him forward. And they were 30 thousandths apart across the line, but Janssen retakes the lead coming into turns 2 and into 3. As Kreling goes defensive on Casarino going into turn 4. Casarino looking one way, then the other, unable to assert a potential opportunity of getting past, but nevertheless, he's done a great job so far. But Hoffmann will look to strike back at Janssen. And this is where the mind games, the strategy calls by these young drivers. There's no refueling, there's no tyre stops, it's just flat-out action all the way through. And this is where things get rather interesting, because now you can see the drivers are pushing like crazy. 4 minutes and 9 seconds plus an additional lap still to go in this race. And Gabriel Hoffmann losing a bit more time now to Noah Janssen, and the gap now is just under 2 tenths. Keep your eyes on Arjen Kreling, because Kreling has just put in the fastest lap of anybody. 58.965 for the number 62 in third position. Nicolas Casarino puts in a 59.1. Noah Janssen was actually second quickest out of the quartet at the front of the field as they make their way through into turn 7. Now into 8, you can see a little bit further behind. Christos Malakos has started to get away from Tim Steger in the battle for P5. But the good thing is Noah Janssen still leads. 3 minutes 24 seconds plus an additional lap still remaining on the clock as the drivers wait and bide their time and don't put all their cards on the table rather quickly. As you can see, the top 4 that have just gone through into turns 13 and 14. They're going to come across the line very shortly indeed. And Gabriel Hoffmann, 97 thousandths behind Noah Janssen. So using the slipstream out of the final corner does the 95. You can just see here that they are pushing like crazy once again. And Nicolas Casarino puts in the fastest lap of the race, fractionally ahead by about 6 thousandths quicker than Gabriel Hoffmann. So Hoffmann also into the 58s. The top 4 all in the 58s. Arjen Kreling is the slowest out of the quartet, a 58.921, but Gabriel Hoffmann now knows that here is his opportunity to strike. Just under 2.5 minutes remaining, and he's getting closer. He's getting closer to Noah Janssen in the FM Racing Comp Kart number 31 entry. And these drivers are pushing. They are definitely wanting to be on the front, the best foot forward at the end of this race. But now, Hoffmann 76 thousandths behind Janssen, crossing the stripe to start lap number 8. And here goes the move from Gabriel Hoffmann, and he gets the job done through turn 4 on Noah Janssen, nice and cleanly. Janssen will wait, bide his time, and then strike, as Nicolas Casarino has got past Arjen Kreling for P3. Just looking back at the footage, I have got the YouTube channel up and running, and just to see how Hoffmann did it, he basically went through into turn 3, had the good turn of momentum, and then just used the slipstream, and Casarino had even gotten Kreling before they'd even hit turn 4. and managed to get the job done. Kept the inside line for 5 at the left-hander. So coming through into the last couple of laps or so of this race. So 1 minute and 5 as they cross the line. So that will give them this plus 2 additional laps. And there is the move again. Noah Janssen once again overtakes Gabriel Hofmann before they hit turn 3. Retakes the lead on lap number 9. Niklas Casarino starting to make that cart, the number 12, as wide as possible. Arjen Kreling looks up the inside of turn 6, and Casarino shuts the door firmly. And all 7 drivers are still circulating, which is being rounded out by the 91 of Stavros Sotos Francia. And Noah Janssen goes defensive on Gabriel Hofmann, who takes a wide line going through turn 11. Got a good turn of pace coming out of the corner. And now he's right on the back bumper. Timer is fast ticking away in this first of 2 races for Micromax. 9 minutes plus additional lap for each one. So, penultimate lap it is. Lap 10 out of 11. And here comes Gabriel Hofmann. This is where he's going to use his opportunity to strike. Up the inside through turn 4. Goes Hofmann on Janssen. Hofmann retakes the lead. And keep your eyes on Niklas Casarino, because Casarino has just put in the fastest lap, 58.465, on the completion of lap number 9. So timer has expired around about 20 seconds ago. And the next time around, they get the final lap board. So this will give Gabriel Hofmann the sign that he needs. It'll also give the hurry up to Noah Janssen. And what's more, Niklas Casarino senses an opportunity and goes a bit tighter into turn 12 in comparison with the 2 in front. Now through the final couple of corners we go. Onto the final lap. Gabriel Hofmann leads the race, but by nothing. 88 thousandths ahead of Noah Janssen, who goes for the lead. Retakes it on the final lap. And can Hofmann close on in? Well, he's got to start defending against Niklas Casarino. And Casarino was 4.5 tenths behind Hofmann, who was leading at the beginning of the final lap. And here goes Hofmann up the inside through turn 6 on the final lap. Noah Janssen tries to counter-attack, and he goes for the switchback through turn 7. They're going to go side by side through 8. Oh, and Janssen threads the eye of the needle, and there goes Casarino. Some great driving from these youngsters as now Casarino goes defensive on Hofmann, going through turn 11 for the final time. One of the things that you don't want to be doing at the start of the final lap of the race is to be leading, and Gabriel Hofmann is going to try and do his level best to close in and pass Niklas Casarino, but winning the first race of the day for Micromax, it's going to be FM Racing's Noah Janssen. Niklas Casarino celebrates taking second, and the jubilation quite clear to see for the number 31. A win yesterday, and he knew that was definitely a beauty, that race victory. Waited, bided his time, struck when he needed to, and he got the job done. So let's have a look at the results for the first race for Micromax here today. A jubilant Noah Janssen takes the checkered flag and wins race 1 after 11 laps, with a victory lead of 0.757 ahead of Niklas Casarino in the number 12. The number 95 of Gabriel Hofmann rounds out the top 3 and was just under 0.13 behind Niklas Casarino at the checkered flag. Arjen Kreling was 4th. Could have been in the top 3 at the end of the race, but unfortunately not this time around. Maybe the number 62 will have better luck in the next race. Christos Malakos rounds out the top 5. Tim Steger in 6th, and bringing up the rear, but still finishing the race, Stavros Sotos Francia.